At the end of last December, when I decided that I was going to do this project this year, there were 4 movies that came to mind that always like jumped to the forefront of my mind when I heard like the idea of like a great movie or classic piece of cinema. And those 4 movies are Gone with the Wind, Casablanca, Citizen Kane, and The Godfather. If you go back and watch the January 1 tape, I mentioned I think all of them by name, but especially The Godfather. And I've finally seen all 4 of those. I watched Gone with the Wind yesterday. The tape's going up in 2 days on Wednesday. But I just finished up with The Godfather, and it's The Godfather. Wow. Sprawling epic over 10-ish years of time, from like the 40s to the 50s, of Michael Corleone and his rise to power. I don't think I'm spoiling it. The movie's 44 years old now. But just his change, the dynamic of the change from like this war hero who's not involved in his father's company to owning this company. Cody's mad at me for some reason. What did I say?
You stole my words.
I stole your words because they're good words.
I said that.
She's good at words.
I mean, I am a writer.
She's very good at words, but it rings true. It's just like the scope of this film, and it hits every point perfectly, and the story is so intertwined amongst itself that little lines from the beginning become huge plot events at the end, and little lines at the end reference huge plot events at the beginning, and it just ties itself together so perfectly. And that's not even talking about Coppola, and his filmmaking is just gorgeous. So many times throughout this movie, I'm like, that shot is super well framed. Even Cody was saying that shots were well framed, and that's not the stuff she cares about.
I don't know anything about movies.
See? So it's just like everything just perfectly move forward, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful movie. And I have my personal rating scale of if a movie is good or not, and there are 2 factors that can lead into that. 1, how often do I check my phone? If I'm watching at home, it's not going to be 0, but I wasn't playing games on my phone during this movie. And the second thing is this movie going to hook my fiance? And I pressed play, and she was ready to cook dinner or do something, and she sat down on the couch and just watched this movie with me. And that is saying a lot, because there's not a lot of movies that she's seen. She wants to say something.
So, you've probably realized by now I'm what you would refer to as a militant feminist. And I kind of went into this movie like, alright, whatever, dude bros being dude bros and killing bros. And I'm good at words. I have the best words.
The best words.
And I really enjoyed this movie. It was very, very good. The female characters, even though, you know, there's 4 of them that are named, if you count Mom as a name, they were surprisingly diverse. I mean, you had Connie, who was she's in the family, she sort of knows what's going on, but she is more like, okay, whatever, I'm doing my own thing, and she's kind of I don't want to say the spoiled princess of the dynasty, but she's the spoiled princess of the dynasty. And then you have Kay, who kind of gets drawn into this, falling in love with one man and ending up marrying the same man, but he's not the same man.
Not the same man. No.
And
the change is so subtle throughout the movie, and it wrapped up at the end when he lies to her about what he did, and that's like just the nail in the coffin of his character arc, and it's so perfect. He's so well done. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt Cody's feminist corner.
No, and who's the other character? Apollonia. She is more plot device than character, but there's still development.
And you can say that about every character, even if they're only in there for a scene or 2. You know that character, you know that person, you know somebody like that in real life, and everyone is developed, even if it just takes a line. They're so well developed.
And another thing I was telling him was, even if there was a character, like he said, there's characters that are only in there for a couple minutes, but there's still, sorry.
It's okay. Do you want the chair?
No, I'll stand again.
No, we're good.
So even if there's characters that were only in there for a couple minutes, like he said, you know who they are and you know what they're about. And I was telling him that it's like Mad Max. When you have enough characters, you can kill them and it's effective. Like,
when you have enough well-developed characters.
yeah. Spoiler for a 40-year-old movie, one of the characters that you're introduced to very early on dies very early on in a very violent way.
Yes, he does.
But they built him up to be so powerful that he dies and you're like, wait, is he? What?
Yeah, like he's only in the first 20 minutes or so of the movie, but his first introduction, like you feel like this character is important, and he's gone. And then there are other characters that in the beginning they're like subtly introduced, but then they're massively important by the end. Abe Vigoda's character comes to mind.
Yeah.
Rest
Tessio.
in peace, Abe Vigoda.
Oh.
He died in February, and man, he was old in 72. So congrats on living that long, man.
Yeah,
but yeah,
even the feminists got drawn in by The Godfather.
I'm not going to tell you to watch The Godfather because you should have already seen it. You're not me. And if you haven't, you should already know to go watch this movie. It's an incredible piece of filmmaking. Still looks gorgeous 40 years later.
Paramount.
I did have one issue. Like, it's a slightly different aspect ratio on the DVD I have than was originally released. Not by much, but just enough that I could tell like something was a little bit off and looked into it. But that was like that has nothing to do with the movie. That's just the DVD that I looked at, and that's fine. Well, I can't fault anything. Like, other than that, there's like no fault in this film, and it's just beautiful from credits to credits. And I feel like you can tell a time in your life before The Godfather and after The Godfather, and I've crossed that line today. Tomorrow I'm watching wrestling. Gonna blue collar it up a little bit. Not blue collar. What's the word I'm looking for?
Redneck?
Redneck it up a little bit. White trash it up. I don't know. Change the pace a little bit tomorrow night. Wednesday, like I said before, you'll see my thoughts on Gone with the Wind. But until then, bye.